Wow, was my microphone muted that whole time? Was I on mute the whole time? Was this the first time anyone's hearing my voice? Good grief. All right, back to the beginning. Back to what I was saying. I'm editing a video. It's about 10 minutes. Yeah, right. I was running my mouth for about 5 minutes already. I'm editing a video. Well, actually, I've already edited it and I have it done. I have hands free too. And I have it done. Right now it's exporting. Then it's going to upload to YouTube probably in about 4 or 5 hours or so. So early in the morning, late tonight, who knows. But the video is of Feodora coming outside to get to get some chicken eggs. What I tend to do is I give her my phone and let her run around and film whatever she wants. For the most part, she loves going to get the eggs. So I let her film going to get the eggs. And I call that little section Feodora Films. And so she comes and she gets the eggs. I only have like maybe 4 or 5 of these videos up. She comes and she gets the eggs, and getting the eggs, she kind of talks to herself and talks to the cats and talks to the chickens and sings little songs. So as a father, it's like I'm living vicariously. It's like a reality show for me. So for 20 minutes, I get to live inside this child's head and from her perspective of life and see what she sees and her reactions to certain things that she finds in the garden and types of eggs that she sees and things like that. And it does well by my heart. In this particular video, she came out, she got the eggs, yada, yada, yada. It was about 20 minutes long. A lot of babbling, a lot of the phone being flipped upside down, children. So I edited it down to a comfortable 10 minutes. While I was editing the video, something happened. It is a very lighthearted video, but it was going to be kind of like a one-off and one done. And hold on, I actually may upload the 20-minute video, just uncut, just in case the world wants to see it. But for the most part, there's a particular section that happens in the film, and it touched my heart, and you know, made me feel good. I get kind of emotional, especially when talking about my little cookie, and it did my heart very well. And yeah, so I took my time editing the video, so it's a little bump at the end after the whole animated section. There's a 1 minute little thing that I put up there, a little video that I hold dear to my heart that the world has never seen. And it should be up tonight. The video is, what do you call it? It's exporting now, and then it's going to upload. So it should be up within 4 to 6 hours, maybe 3 if I'm lucky, but you know. So it's a little thing at the end. It's like a 30-second thing. It's a video clip that I hold very close to my heart, and I decided to share it. Even though this is Feodora Films, I just wanted to put that at the end to reassure her that when she sees it when she's older, how long I've loved her. For some reason, as children, when we're at 7, we're at 8, we're at 10, sometimes we kind of think this is all happening now. I remember when I was 10, sitting on my couch, playing video games, or sitting with my uncle, or sitting with my dad, sitting with my mom, and I would look around the home, and in my mind I was like, wow, this is all happening now, not knowing that this man has been a father for 10 years. You understand what I'm saying? He had a life before me. And in the clip, it shows something, and I want my daughter to see it. Just so she can see how long I've been planning these moments for her. I'm a very calculated person. I didn't used to be that way. I was calculated in other ways. I was calculated in the way I maneuvered in the streets, But I never had to deal with fatherhood until 7 years ago. And once that happened, as I do tell people, I kind of shut myself down and just went into full father mode. I was the kind of person you would see frequently at a party. You could still find me the occasional get down, but you would see me at a party. I hosted many events. I'm an MC. I would host anything from weddings to the bar, nightclubs, all that good stuff. I used to own a nightclub. I used to, and I've owned plenty of art galleries and bars and things like that. And when my daughter was born, I said, man, I'm leaving this all behind. Because there was something that she said to me before she could even speak and be coherent. When I held her the day she was born, and yes, I am the father who was there holding, watching and holding one leg of the woman giving birth to my child. Now, people told me, man, you don't want to be in a room when your woman gives birth. It'll make you, all this, the stigma around some people, how they talk. And at first I was buying into it. I was like, yeah, I don't know if I want to, But I tell you, in that moment, I never felt more like a man, and her mom at that moment never looked more like a woman. And that's just a moment that I'll never forget. When they pulled the child out, they let me cut the cord and they put her right into my arms. And at that moment, I made a pledge. I made a vow to myself and with myself to never let things kind of slip by me. I had a conversation with my father, and it was amazing how we see life the same way sometimes. And this was some years ago, way before my daughter was born. It was a sunny day. I lived in Baltimore downtown. And it was, let me get into this garden. It was a sunny day. Okay, there's 30,000 spiders all over the place, and I don't know why. I walked in and out of here this morning. There was no spiders. Now there's 1 million. It's going to keep going up. I see 1 billion spiders right here. What am I supposed to do with 1 trillion spiders in my face? You know what? There's 1 quintillion billion spiders right here, and I'm not going through it. See, I want to go in the garden, but there's an infinite amount of spiders. I'm not a spider fan. Look at this. What is going on? You probably can't see this in the video. There's some here. Good grief, they're all over this. I was in here a few hours ago. These chickens better get on their job. They can get fired. You know what? I don't even know if I want to go into the garden now. I ain't gonna lie. Here we go. Get my whack-em stick. Haha. So anyway, jeez, look at this. They're everywhere. I can't have this. I'm not a spider fan. I got my toes out. And I am the kind of person, I don't believe in hurting animals and insects. I'm just that kind of person. But spiders, they ain't in this world, man. That's how I feel. So where was I? I had a conversation with my pop. On a sunny day when I was in Baltimore, I had my bike parked by the door. I had a cold glass of water in my hand. I just used this to break up any nonsense. And my phone rang. It was my father. I said, hey. He said, hey. Like I said, this is before I had my child. So let me just guess around 2004, 2005. He said, how's it going? I was like, it's going good. He said, what you got planned for today? I said, I'm about to go ride my bike. He was like, must be nice. My father's a working man. He actually just retired this year. And me, I haven't had a typical 9 to 5 since 2003 because, I decided to take to the streets and work on my own. So he said, yeah, it feels good out there, don't it? I said, yeah. He said, I got to go to work in a little while. He said, you enjoy it. I said, I will. And he was like, let me tell you something, a little something about myself. He said, when you have days like that, he said, take them in. Breathe deep. Enjoy everything. He said, if you're walking through the heat, enjoy that heat. Enjoy it. If you're sweating, enjoy it. And I said, that's right. He said, you understand that? I said, I completely understand that. I said, if I'm going through this heat, I said, I'm going to go ride my bike, right? And I said, I'm gonna go ride, I'm gonna ride, I'm gonna sweat, I'm gonna smile, let things get me down. And he said, that's good. And we continued talking. And he said, don't let nothing bother you like that. That the nature is what nature is. And then I said to him, I said, I have a habit of when, no matter what's going on in life, good or bad, I tend to think, what if this is my second chance? What if I've already done this and I asked, can I go back just to do that day again? Just to do that moment again? And I was granted that opportunity. So I look at life that way. Like, this is my second chance. Which means normally I would have just walked through here, da, 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 and not thought twice. Now when I walk through here, I admire the cats, the bugs, not the spiders, the plants, the vegetation, the sky, the chemtrails, the sun, the moon, the stars, my breath, the weight I've gained. I enjoy it all. I don't let it bug me. This is my life. This is my reality. This is my opportunity. And I've always been like that. After about the age of 20, I began to take things in differently. I remember my first apartment downtown. It was 2001, my very first apartment. And I remember standing in that place thinking I made it. And I'm going to enjoy every minute. And my father, he said, you're going to get tired of living downtown. You're going to, the hustle, the bustle, the noise. And I was like, no, there's something about the city that makes you feel so alive. See, what happened was I went to Baltimore School for the Arts. And in that time, I fell in love with the downtown, with the metropolis. You know, school got out at 4 o'clock. And in the wintertime at 4 o'clock, it's pretty dark. You know, it's getting dark. And I remember leaving that school, being very chilly, wrapped up, earmuffs, whatever, and walking to the bus stop. And then I'm a kid who was just, I have very, very bad direction. I would walk past the bus stop, up the street, around the corner, and I would be lost down there. Walk way up to a place called Charles Street, going to Mount Vernon and look at the tall brick buildings. And I was amazed at the people who were moving around with a purpose. Versus I felt the people in my neighborhood who were just sitting on the stoop. And I was like, look at these people with purpose. And I wanted to be that. So I got my job downtown. I was working way before this. I've been working since I was 15. And I got a job at a sub shop. Then I got a job at a camera store, you know, developing film and selling cameras and things like that. And I just remember walking back and forth to work on foot, not catching a bus, just walking back and forth. And absolutely loving the rainy days, the cold days, the hot days, and walking past, looking at people saying, you know, how do you do? And they're like, it's hot. And I was like, okay. They just simply gave me a description of what the day is. They didn't tell me anything about themselves. I said, how are you? And their response was, enter complaint here. And that's when I begin to really find out I was different than most folks. I don't like to complain. I don't like to worry. I don't like to trip. You know what I mean? I like to just enjoy. And it works for me. So I instill that in my daughter. You know, sometimes she'll say, Daddy, it's hot, you know. And I understand, 7-year-old girl, she's hot. And I'll say, well, guess what? Go in the house, get a cold water, come right back out. Her response is, yes, Daddy. So I instill in her, man, look, just enjoy these moments. Because who knows, one day, again, I came from the concrete jungle. You know, I came from a place where there were enough shootouts around me and near me. I came from situations where I almost lost my life. And I mean, seriously, maybe I'll tell that story one day. Because of the streets I loved so much. So when I get this opportunity, listen. There's a cat. There was a bird out there somewhere. He don't sound like he's in pain. He sound like he's calling for his mate. Or maybe it's a child that's just happy because they just learned how to fly. The chickens are in the coop, so we don't hear them. But it's the fact that I don't hear the helicopters. Hear the I don't hear the gunshots. I don't hear the obscene music from the cars that my daughter can question. I don't hear that. My house is controlled. I love Miles. She loves Miles. She can tell a difference between Charlie Parker and Miles Davis and John Coltrane. I played a song for her, and this was many years ago. And we were laying in a bed, and she said, "Dad, that's not Miles." And I said, "Oh, really?" I said, "What do you mean?" And she was kind of half asleep, so she was in that spot, where the mind is being extremely creative in a dark space. She said, "Miles doesn't sound like this." I said, "How does Miles sound?" She said, "Miles sounds like this, Dad." She said, "This sounds like this." And I said, "That's how you paint. That's art." So when you're looking at an artist painting and he has a particular type of brushstrokes, you can tell what he's listening to, how he's informed. You can listen to what he's around. The fact that she saw Miles as curves, as smooth, as rounded edges, and she heard Charlie Parker as more of a sharp come out and drop kind of thing, that was amazing to me. So we listened to more music, and sure enough, I was just flipping through, and she said, "That's Miles, that's not Miles." And I'm not going to say she got every single one right, but for the most part, beyond most, she was able to tell me the difference between Miles and Coltrane and Charlie Parker. I wasn't able to do that at my age because I wasn't around it. I was so worried about what's on television. I was so worried about, and I'm not saying those things are wrong, but, I was just worried about things that I feel didn't concern me. And some parents say those things are needed because it makes you who you are. And I think I turned out okay. Do it. Do it. Even if you don't eat off the farm, do it just for peace of mind. You see, right now it's after 8. And I would think most American families are probably sitting in front of the television on Instagram or YouTube. They're, you know, uh, but, and they're not outside. It's the fact that I can take these hours watching a silly cat run back and forth. Olive. And, yeah, exactly. Be the change. Be the change. See, when I was young, there were things I wanted, I didn't get. And I'm not talking about toys or clothes or things like that. I'm just talking about there was a type of emotion. I was an emotional child. My father can attest to that. I was the kind of kid now. And as I got older, I grew out of it. And I think, not that I grew out of it, I just simply chameleoned. I just learned to deal with not getting what I wanted as far as emotional, you know. And I see my daughter and I tell her, don't hide your emotions. She's a sensitive child. She's a smart child. And I was always very intelligent, but I had to hide that, act like I like things when I didn't really want to, I remember a lot of my friends liked a certain show and they were like, "What do you like?" And I would go, "I like Seinfeld." I like the humor. I like the jokes. Yada, yada, yada. Now, I could enjoy anything. I could enjoy anything. But then we have our preferences. It's like, what kind of woman, what kind of boy do you like? Well, I like, whatever. Or what do you prefer? It's like that. I just have my preferences. you know. As a kid, watching Sesame Street and Mr. Rogers, I liked them both. But for some reason, I preferred Mr. Rogers. It's like that. I don't know. Wine and whiskey, beer and brew. It is what it is. But yeah, do yourself a favor. Out. Out, out, out. I don't want him in here. Get out, boy. Listen to me. The reason why I don't want him in here is because he has a tendency to dig and poop. And I don't want him doing that in here. And another thing is he has those two friends dangling off the back of him there. And he needs to get to a clinic. And we haven't got to one yet. And he used to spray the house up really bad. And I had to clean the house up. So now he comes outside. He's able to hold it for the most part. He comes outside and he sprays, you know. And it smells like cat spray. I'm not a fan of that smell. So I don't want him in here. Yeah, he needs to get neutered. So if he comes in here, he's going to spray because he'll go outside the garden and he'll like spray in. I don't know if he's trying to attract me or thinks I'm cute. I don't know what his problem is, but that's my boy though. I love that cat. I love that cat. He's a good boy. But I don't know, germs and worms. This may be it for me right now. I love going live. I would love to build a bigger audience. I love to entertain. That's my background. I love to talk, run my mouth, chit chat. Oh, and if anybody's watching this, I might as well put this out there. Next weekend, Thursday, I may be in a city near you for about 5 days. All I gotta say is, come see me. Let me come see you. We can meet up. I'm trying to get together, not a bunch of people. Maybe, hey, he wants to come back in again. When will you learn? When will you learn? But, oh, that's not even him. Hey, a shadow. She can't come in either. When will you learn? But yeah, I plan on having a good time. There's a spider hiding underneath my sunflower, you sucker. And he jumped. All right. When a spider jumps, he's on me. That's what it means. He's on me. He's in my hair. He's down my pant leg. He's currently eating me. That's how I make peace with it. But yeah. So I'm going to be MIA. I'm not going to be posting it. Maybe I'll post from the hotel. Who knows? But I'm planning on documenting this whole thing. Not here, but on my second channel, Works of Freedom. My YouTube channel. I plan on documenting on there. My little excursion. And I want to put with like maybe 5 people. And just record our antics. Put it up. Have a good time. Bounce around. Enjoy ourselves. You know. I already got one road dog coming with me. So that's going to be fun. And so it's a lock. It's a guarantee. So if anybody come or not, I am going to have some fun. My other channel is Works of Freedom. It's also the website, www.worksoffreedom.com. So if anybody catches this stream late, or whatnot, I know I got some people out in the city. They're gonna may want to come through for a day or two. You know, taking a show. One word. And just enjoy ourselves. That doesn't look so good over there, and I don't know why. I just noticed that. Oh, fine. It's the way it looks. I do need to water it though. Maybe I'll put some fertilizer in there too, because it's giving. It has fruit on it. And I filmed a video just the other day of me mixing dirt again. It's a full video of me mixing dirt with all my amendments. I didn't edit it yet, but I have it in the can. There's also another video of me talking about the mommies and daddies of plants. Hopefully the world will enjoy that one. Well, I talk about how a plant, or how a zucchini, this is what I'm using right now, comes to be. There's a little story my daughter's fascinated with, so I decided I'd tell the world. Put a little bit here on this cucumber. Why not? A lot of these plants need it right now. And I'll tell anyone, if you're not using this, this is a life and day. This will be life and day of your garden. Start using this. The best soil to start with is subjective. I would say if you want to start your own soil, then look at my video. If I remember, I'll put it right there. But scroll through my channel. I did a video on mixing dirt. I have another one coming. Hopefully, maybe tomorrow I'll do it, or the day after that I'll do it, where it shows how to mix dirt. This isn't dirt. This is worm castings. Basically, it's worm poop. And this is extremely beneficial. I put some of this on a house plant, and it took off. Well, the reason why we use this is because the earth, naturally, at least around here, has plenty earthworms. If I were to dig a hole somewhere over here, I'd probably find 20 earthworms and give them all to my chickens. Also, if you find earthworms, take them and put them inside your containers. They'll wriggle around in there and they'll keep that soil nice and loose. They'll eat, they'll poop, and it's good. It's good fertilizer. But what we do in container gardening, since we don't have any of the beneficial microbes and things from out there, we mimic that inside of our pots. So we put in things like phosphorus and calcium, magnesium, and soil enrichers like this. We also put in lime and other things. So the video's coming. But you want to mimic the ground. And the ground has all those different things in it. Dead animals and animals that have passed on, fell back. Hey, boy. So you want to mimic that. So that's why we have things like the bone meal and blood meal. To a degree, it kind of mimics the animals that are naturally fallen to earth. And I think that's it. Maybe it's not, unless I got something else to talk about. Oh, I even have corn growing in a bag. I have 3 corns. Didn't even know that. 3 corn grown in a bag with a pepper. These peppers, this pepper plant is a dragon cayenne. It doesn't have any peppers on it yet. My other dragon cayennes do. And there's also some weeds in here, so we can work on getting them out. Oh my goodness. And this pepper plant was one plant. It was one plant. Dragon cayenne. But it's healthy. And as I like to say, all things like to live. And it took off. My eggplant here. I'm very fond of eggplant. The eggplants have a bunch of radishes down there. I use the radishes as mulch. So, you know, it doesn't... Those little helicopter things that we used to play with as children, they'll land and they'll grow a tree on you real quick. They grow fast. So if you got mulch down, more than likely they won't take. And you can mulch with wood chips or even grass. I mulched, plant. And my daughter, she mulched her pepper and what kind of pepper is this, by the way? Gypsy. She mulched a gypsy and her melon. There's a melon back there. I forgot where it is. A golden melon or something. With hay. That's fine too. But you can also just put down radishes. That way, you can eat your mulch. Oh, this is great being hands-free. I can do so much stuff. Ooh. I'm going to eat it. Now, I recorded a video that I don't have up yet. Look at the spider guarding everything. Why are you gardening? Why are you guarding my garden? My daughter ate the very first yellow cherry in my garden. Every single year we grow yellow cherry tomatoes. Every year it is a staple of the garden. And this plant had one on it. And my daughter saw it. And she said, I want it. So I recorded her. She came over to her. She picked it off. Out, girl. Out, 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 out. I will point at you. I will point in your general direction. And she ate it. And she said, Eddie, well, I want to share it with you. I said, enjoy, enjoy. I always give her the first of everything. She had the first strawberry. And she had the first tomato. I am going to have my first. And there's one over there too. See that? When these things come in, they will not stop. They are everywhere if you look. They're just green. They haven't grown yet. See? Look, they're everywhere. They just haven't matured yet. So, I am about to... Cat crazy. I'm about to enjoy this. Now, there are different types of yellow cherries. Some are really sweet. The ones we grow here in the garden tend to be really, really, really sweet. But I normally grow them in the ground. This time I'm growing them in my own handmade soil. So, and I hear that the soil you use, well, actually this is true. Depending on how you mix your soil, what you put in it, the type of watering that you use, your food can taste different. So imagine watering these things with Dr. Pepper. You can imagine. So this thing is going in. I hope it's the sweet kind. Oh, yes. It is the sweet kind. Look at all that life in there. And there's something I tell my daughter. She will never be poor as long as she could bum a quarter. Why? I'll tell you. And my lights are coming on. My purple lights. They're solar lights. And those two, those bumblebees, they'll come on later. And I have more lights here. I just haven't put up yet. If you can bum a quarter, my daughter, then you can go to the store and get a tomato. Take the tomato and cut it in half. And you will have hundreds of seeds in your hand. Eat one half for nutrients and save the other for the soil. You will get 100 tomato plants apiece. And each plant will have 100 tomatoes more. Each tomato will then give you 100 tomato seeds. And by now, my daughter, the seeds you have shall be more than 1,000. You can never go hungry as long as you have a quarter. And a few months. And the right temperature. And the perfect soil. But, you know. Germs and worms. Kings and queens. Cocks and hens. Trees and ponds. Gods and earths. Moons and suns. I'm about to bid you all adieu. Perhaps I shall go live again. Maybe I won't. Who knows? I mean tonight. Of course, we'll go live again in the future, but I mean tonight. The sun is going down. I'm waiting for my bees to glow. Because once they start to flicker, they tell Freedom he needs to go. I'm going to give it a few more moments and hold on to these precious moments that are golden. Supposing someone has noticed, but I think I am quite the poet. True freedom to far ride, the father of Feodora. Father of Feodora. After I just bragged on my poetic skills. The father of Feodora. I want to thank everyone for enjoying Freedom's journey. And please consider subscribing. And give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. If you didn't, give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Follow me on Patreon. Patreon, The Garden of Feodora. I just launched a Tumblr for The Garden of Feodora. Instagram for The Garden of Feodora. And waiting on these bees to glow. They will. Any moment now. I can't wait till these watermelons come in. There they go. They're twinkling. Well, they were. They have a cycle. Well, a cycle I put them on. They'll twinkle and stop. I have tomatoes here. It's coming along. Let me move. Okay, these spiders are no one's friends. And that's the problem too. When you're not a fan of spiders, when you're not a fan of spiders and you have long hair, you think everything is a spider. Yes, these are my locks. They're very long. They're to my knees. That's my crown. My beautiful Rasta. There it is. They just came on. Did you see it? They are on. It's time for me to boogie, oogie, oogie. Ladies and gentlemen, I love you all. Please don't be afraid to learn. You know you're learning when it hurts. It's scary, but don't be afraid. Embrace knowledge. Don't run from it. Ain't that right, kitty cat? Hmm? Isn't that right, kitty cat? Again, stay blessed. Stay learning, stay reaching, stay teaching. Stay learning, stay yearning. Stay moving, stay worming. And as always, peace from the garden of Feodora.